Hello there, you're watching Dansky, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the recently redesigned PlayStation app. Okay, so firstly, the app loads quickly after a brief splash screen with the PlayStation branding, and if you've already signed in, you are then greeted with the home screen, and essentially this is a summary of your progress on several recently played games. This is great if you're a completionist and want to see your progress at a glance, and as you can see, I am definitely not that. Not a single platinum trophy. Shameful. Now, the first thing that immediately stood out to me was the main navigation, represented with 5 icons that connect to the different sections of the app. From left to right, we have Play, Explore, PS Store, Game Library, and Search. I love the curved navbar design and the way the position of the icons also follow this curvature. The active screen being represented by a glowing blue light underneath the icon is a nice touch, and is a creative juxtaposition against the clean styling that is generally present throughout the app's interface. My only criticism here, and this really is nitpicking to the nth degree, is that the bottom curve could be a little smoother, and the uppermost part in the center just doesn't feel perfectly smooth, a little bit flat, but otherwise it looks great. Social features such as friends and chat are located at the top of every screen, so wherever you are in the app, this is easily accessible by tapping either of the 2 icons or pulling down on the tab. These touches may be minor, but collectively can be the difference between an app that is good and one that is great. Account-related settings and notifications are at the top of the play screen, and having these options here upon launching the app and with them being so easily accessible makes a lot of sense. And this seems to be a consistent theme that runs throughout the app with respect to the design choices. They just make sense. The styling on cards, tabs, and other UI elements sports rounded off corners, which will beautifully complement the curved edges on many of today's devices. Information is also suitably spaced out and with enough breathing space. This avoids the app feeling cluttered and busy, a mistake that many companies still make, somehow, even today, but not here. The store and game library are other examples of a good use of spacing, with the most important information about a game being presented front and center, and the icons on a game's page are a great visual anchor to help users quickly understand whether a particular game features online play or the number of supported players, etc. In addition to space, the simple color palette used for the app's overall design allows the content, or in this instance the games, to be king. This design choice can often be used when designing digital experiences, as the content may be subject to change over time, and this approach minimizes the chance that a game's artwork would clash with the UI design at a later date. Yes, it is safe, yes, it is less distinctive as a design and from a brand perspective, and sometimes that's exactly the right choice. There's a time and a place for Sony's branding with their blue and everything, and it doesn't need to be prevalent here. Now, one of my biggest gripes with the app is the back button, because its position is far less conventional in the bottom left corner, and initially I found myself constantly going top left and clicking the messages icon by mistake. So I did end up momentarily stuck a few times, and occasionally it can also become surrounded by graphics and other UI elements that lead to it standing out less. And considering this is going to be one of the most repeatedly used buttons, in my opinion it should be displayed in a way whereby accessibility can't be compromised by either the UI or the content. Another small criticism is the design of the graphic on the search screen. In principle, it's fine, but I think just spending a little more time refining the design to perhaps be either a little more illustrative or to include a bit more detail would go a long way in bringing this up to the level of quality that the rest of the app exudes. Also, it's worth noting that whilst the circle in the graphic is positioned centrally, the handle component of the magnifying glass does unbalance the symmetry of the graphic within the page. Now, this can be easily corrected by shifting the graphic a little bit to the left, and oftentimes the tools in design software can help correctly achieve alignment between different UI elements. However, other times it has to be done manually, so training your eyes to identify correctly balanced design is something that I would recommend to any aspiring designers. And there we go, a few thoughts from me about the newly released PlayStation app. In my opinion, a huge improvement over the previous version, both from a design and UX perspective. And after seeing the UI for the PS5 too, I think it's safe to say that initially I'm very impressed with the creative direction Sony has chosen, and I think we're all in for a visual treat come November. If you manage to get a pre-order secured, of course. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Take care, and I'll see you next time.